everybody. So I've been getting a lot of requests on my brows lately, like how I do them and stuff like that, because I've been doing them just a little bit differently. I already groomed this brow. So you see it's pretty short, and that's the way I like them because they're easier to control when they're shorter. First thing I'm going to do is take a spoolie and I'm going to brush the inner part of my brows upwards. And I'm just taking, these are the scissors that I always use, that I used in my last video too. These are cuticle scissors. So you see these like kind of long bushy hairs right here? I'm just going to trim those down a little bit. Not completely, but nice and groomed. And then my inner part of my brow right here, I usually take pretty short to line with that line there. And then I'm just going to brush it back out. And then this part here I tend to keep pretty short now too, compared to how I used to. I used to have kind of bushy eyebrows. I try to keep them least bit bushy as possible. I've already cleaned up my plucking around. If I still have a couple hairs, oh well, that's usually because they're too short to pull with tweezers. You can see my brows are pretty clean around. There aren't a lot of stray hairs. I pluck all the way around. Yeah, I have a lot of fine hair that grows in here, and it's not dark. However, it does photograph dark, so I usually try to take care of that. I'll pluck it or I will thread it. It just depends on my mood and how much time I have. So now that I've got my eyebrows all groomed and combed out, I'm going to go ahead and start shaping and filling them. The brush I'm going to use is a MAC 208 brush. This is my favorite brow brush, and it's because it's nice and small and stiff. So focus. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't want to, so forget it. What I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with a defining line. To do that, I'm using a black gel liner. The one I'm using is the Maybelline Eye Studio in Blackest Black. So I'm just going to pick up some black eyeliner, and I'm going to draw my line from the lowest point of my inner brow to the highest point of my lower arch, like that. And just kind of straighten it or do it however I need to do. I'm going to bring it downwards into the tail. Now what I'm going to do is go into my e.l.f. cream liner, and you can use any brown liner that you want to use. I love this e.l.f. cream liner in coffee as a brow filler. It's actually probably my favorite because once it goes on, it stays. It doesn't really move much. And when you are wearing your brows all day like some people do, that's what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and pick some of this up on my brush. I'm going to start filling in my shape here and creating this top line like so. And I'm going to bring it out just a little and down towards that V thingy there. And then inwards like so. And now instead of putting more liner on this part here, I'm just going to use what's left on my brush and just kind of work it in and creating that inner square shape. Sometimes I like to take my brush like this. You can get it like that and just kind of pull inward. If you have any crazy line on top like what I just gave myself, I'm just going to clean it up with my concealer. And same thing with underneath. sharpen that line there by taking my concealer and bringing it inward and dragging it down. See how it sharpens that line more? And the same thing with the outside. And I would suggest wiping your concealer brush every so often, because if you get some of that brown on it, it will spread and turn your concealer a dirty color. Dirty brown color. I'm going to go ahead and take my spoolie and kind of brush some of this out a little. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, to give it a little bit more of a natural look, I'm going to go over it with brow powder. I'm just using the e.l.f. brow kit. This is in medium, and I'm just going to use the powder from this, which is this right here. And I'm just going to comb them out again. And there we have it. Ooh! Yeah, so that's how I get her done. Light. Are they even? They're even enough. So anyways, I hope this brow video helped you at least a little bit. I know a lot of people are asking me how I do my brows, and this is how I've been doing them lately. So hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much. Thanks so much. I think I said thanks for much. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!